Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate, and I want to thank you for being here for today's Pick a Card reading. We're going to be looking at what the person on your mind was meant to learn through knowing you or through having a relationship with you. So, what was the soul contract, and what were they meant to learn through knowing you? So, this could be a past person that comes through, or someone that you're currently dealing with or interacting with. And I just want to say beforehand that it could be that this person learned their lesson, or it could be that they didn't learn their lesson. And I feel like that's going to be up to you guys, but this is what the purpose was, or what opportunity they had to learn something. So I also want to let you guys know that I do feel I've already filmed the 3 piles. And I just want to let you know that I do feel for some of them, you might want to make sure that the reading isn't backwards, and it could actually be what you were learning through knowing someone. So just make sure that the energy is right for you, and you'll just have to use your intuition for that. But without further ado, let's get into what each pile is. So for pile number 1, I'm also realizing this is not centered. But for pile number 1, we have the Tarot of the Divine with this amethyst crystal. For pile number 2, we have the Cosmic Tarot with this Angel Aura crystal. Thank you to the person that corrected me on what this crystal is. For pile number 3, we have the Trippin Waite Tarot deck with this green fluorite crystal. So take whatever time you need to tune in to whichever pile you're feeling drawn to. There could be more than one message for you if you are feeling drawn to multiple piles. There also will be an extended reading where we'll be looking at what you are learning through knowing this person. So essentially the same reading, but reverse. So if you do really feel like you know who this person is and it resonates with you, what you would have, it makes sense that they would have been learning that lesson, and you're curious what your lesson was through knowing this person, you can check out that reading. I'll have it linked down below. And as usual, I'll have the timestamps so you can skip to your pile and any other information you may need to know about the decks. So without further ado, let's get into this, and I'm excited to see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Tarot of the Divine in this amethyst crystal, this is going to be your reading where we're looking into what the person on your mind, why did you come into their life? What were you meant to teach this person? So what lessons were the person on your mind, what were they contracted to learn through the relationship with you? So why did they meet you? What are they learning? This can be someone from the past, someone from the present. Trying to think if it could be future. I don't know. Maybe this will be someone if this doesn't resonate, but we will see. Okay, so what for pile number 1? What is the person on their mind meant to be learning through them? Okay, we have Death, the Sun, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, one of the first things I'm getting, you were meant to help this person understand that change can be a good thing. And it's coming through that this person, maybe they can be stubborn or set in their ways. And I feel like this is the kind of person that even though they maybe weren't happy in certain circumstances, they still would stay put or stay stagnant because of the fear of the unknown or fear of change. With the Knight of Wands coming out with the Sun, you're teaching them about how to understand that without any change, there can't be any growth, and understand that behind death, behind things falling apart, behind letting go of old beliefs, thought patterns, people, relationships, jobs, locations, everything like that. There's a time there's a time for it. And understanding that just because something once made you happy it doesn't mean that it's always going to make you happy. And so it's like you're tuning this person into this, into knowing when it's time to take action, when it's time to assess their happiness, and when it's time to admit that they are potentially not happy anymore in a certain situation. I don't know why it's just so crooked. One second. There we go. Okay. What is pile number 1 teaching their person? I'm also, a message is coming through where it's almost like you're teaching this person that things that they didn't think could make them happy if they have an open mind. I feel like this person can get very stuck with certain interests, or they can be more rigid in what kind of content they like, what types of things they read. And I feel like you're teaching them about diversity as well. And through being open to the possibilities, we can be less attached to a certain thing, a certain whatever it is, XYZ, like I mentioned before, a certain person, a certain persona, a certain job, a certain role, understanding that there's a time for everything. And it's like broadening this person's horizon to look up and kind of understand that they aren't supposed to be the same their whole life. Yeah. What else is pile number 1's person learning through them? We have the 4 of Wands, the 2 of Wands. Yeah, again, it's really about that, with the 2 of Wands, like understanding the opportunities, almost like broadening the worldview, broadening the possibilities for yourself, understanding that you can create a new normal is almost what I'm getting. Yeah. And with the 4 of Wands being here, I feel like it's realizing that through letting go of what did not serve us, what didn't provide us with stability, even if it was familiar, it can be worthwhile to backtrack. I'm also getting that, like, maybe this person at certain points got very attached to a certain foundation. But understanding that just because you have that solid foundation, doesn't mean you can't go back to the drawing board and make adjustments or explore new paths. It's almost like I feel like this person maybe sometimes felt, I'm kind of hearing that this person is kind of like, why fix it if it ain't broke? But it's, and that's true. I definitely think change for change's sake is not useful, or it isn't helpful. But I do feel like it's like your person could sometimes idolize what's familiar to them, or it's like they perceive what's familiar to them to be golden and to be safe and good, and they may close down their options by seeing what is outside of them as not worthy of exploring. What is pile number 1's person learning through them? We have Page of Swords. Yeah, 100%. I'm really seeing with the Page of Swords here, this can talk about opening up to a new mindset, essentially. Like this person, this is just very much confirming what I was getting. It's about this curiosity, right? I think this person, what you help them see, is that there is benefit and there is value in keeping your mind open, being open to new perspectives that could lead you down new roads, right? Like I love how there's a sword here and there's this road. And so I feel like you've opened this person's world up, essentially, and help them understand that stability is good and it can bring happiness to a certain degree. But sometimes what once brought us happiness, what once worked, what once brought us stability, it will eventually change. And so when we go to the Four of Wands, then we go to the Five of Wands, and five is change. And so I feel like sometimes this person gets stuck in this limited set of potentials, and it's like they don't want things to fall apart or don't want to let things change because they may have associated change with destruction or change with loss. And I feel like you are truly opening this person's eyes to how much they're missing, like what viewpoints they're not seeing. And I'm also seeing that there are two paths here, and kind of understanding that maybe the two paths aren't so different. Right? I don't even think it's two paths. I think that's just like for a chariot, but I'm seeing it that way. So yeah, but there's two trees at the back as well. And it's kind of understanding that while you may have gone down this road and gone to this tree, someone else went down this road and got to this tree, and it doesn't mean one tree is better than the other tree. And yeah, you've helped this person lean into their adventurous side, or this is what they're meant to learn through you. They're meant to lean into exploration and curiosity and almost like this Sagittarius energy. Like I feel like you have, if this person didn't really lean into their fire energy that much, you're showing them new things to be passionate about, new things to be excited about. And I could see this person having dealt with depression or something of that sort. And so I almost feel like it's like you're helping this person understand that the light always comes again, and to not fear moving in a new direction, to not fear a path that is more risky or more out of your comfort zone, because what you could gain, it's possible that it would be worth it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to clarify them now. Let's see if my tea is cold enough to drink. It is. I'm going to get a sip of tea first. All right, can we clarify the Four of Wands, please? We have the Three of Cups. Yeah, and I think this person can, I don't know, get stuck in a more homogenous circle, a more homogenous group of people. Another thing I'm getting is, if that isn't the case, it could be that I feel like you help this person get out of the house or like be more social, or yeah, something really strong about their comfort zone, and understanding that they're communicating and being open to sharing good times with different kinds of people. And I'm seeing how there's like a purple flower and a blue flower. Once you leave your solid foundation, there's more fun to be had. There's a lot about not taking life so seriously and opening up to the possibilities, being a little bit more of a free spirit, which I don't think necessarily comes naturally to this person. Why is death here? We have the Six of Wands. Yeah, and what I'm seeing here is that I like how there's the Two of Wands, the Four of Wands to the Six of Wands. There's a feeling of progression, understanding, and especially seeing like sometimes the victory we're seeking, sometimes the recognition we want, sometimes our successes, our getting our victory and truly the recognition we want sometimes lies outside of our comfort zone. And so it's like there's this energy here of, you could either look at all these skulls and look at that, or you can look at the flower that's growing and it's more visible and it's improved, you know? And so there's a sense that I think this person would have stayed in their comfort zone if they had not met you, or they're being taught to move out of it, to understand that through transformation and opening up to new kinds of people, new ideas, integrating more, they actually open themselves up to positive recognition, and success and victory. And it's like I'm getting this energy of someone that was afraid to step out of their comfort zone because they felt like maybe the other people wouldn't accept them, or wouldn't, that other people would, I don't know, like not appreciate them or something like that. But there's this feeling that through knowing you, um, it's like they didn't know they'd be appreciated. And so it's like, sometimes I'm getting like the idea of when, when someone doesn't like you, you automatically decide to not like them. Like there's almost this feeling that they put up boundaries and put up, I don't know, stuck really rigidly to what they know and what they're good at, but then they didn't challenge themselves, and they weren't able to, I'm not finishing that first thought, or I need to finish the first thought before I go into another one, sorry. Um, but what I'm getting is that it's almost like this person automatically assumed that people are just different, or like they wouldn't have fun together, or they wouldn't get along, or they wouldn't be appreciated. They almost felt that the world around them was um more hostile or more oppressive or something. And so it's almost like they internalized this idea and became very like in group versus out group, or they may have just really stuck to what they know, stuck to the people they know, but then it's like they never change or transform. And then they also hold on really tight to the foundation that they do have, which limits their ability to kind of stand out, is what I'm getting. It's almost like this person didn't really stand out because there was all different people like them, but it's almost a sense of understanding that there is beauty to difference. I think that is another thing you have taught this person. Why is the Two of Wands? Okay, we have the Four of Cups. Yeah, essentially Spirit is confirming like opening them up to opportunity, opening them up to expanding what kinds of things they'd be open to, and making more risky plans. Because the Four of Cups is all about this like comfortable dissatisfaction with life. And again, I'm really getting that this person had a limit. They tried to stay in their comfort zone. They tried to stay in the fours. You know what I mean? It's like they had their taste of three and they're like, that's too much instability for me. Like, I definitely can't be open to different opportunities because, then I might get hurt. I don't know how it's going to go. It's unfamiliar. But like, for example, the Knight of Wands is this very passionate energy that just does things without too much thought, or is open to exploring and acting on things in order to learn. And so this person is coming through as introverted. So I guess they don't have to be, but I am getting a sort of introverted vibe to this person where, and I was just reading about this, is like for extroverts, they first act and interact with the outside world, and then they later reflect. And introverts first reflect and then they take action. And so I feel like this person oftentimes would be in this stage of like, oh, do I want to like do this or like explore this? And they're like, oh no, that probably like wouldn't be a good idea. So then they don't take action. But it's like you're helping this person see that you never know. Like you never know what you're missing. And you never know what new perspective you'll get if you just trust and you just like follow what interests you and makes you happy. Why is the Sun here? We have the King of Wands, and we also have Judgment. Yeah, and so I feel like what you're helping this person see is to step in their power more. And because the King of Wands is a visionary, the King of Wands is someone that, oh, I'm kind of getting a random insight here. This person may have been the kind of person to secretly dislike more charismatic or confident people. And they may have seen themselves as very different from like the King of Wands type of person. And I could see this, what I'm even seeing is like Snape. I'm almost getting like Severus Snape vibes, how he feels about Harry's dad, who I can't remember the name of, Lily and James, and how James like never really followed the rules, and he kind of just followed what he wanted to. He followed his instincts, and he changed the norm. And it's almost like Snape saw that as being arrogant. And so this person may have had certain judgments on people that were more free spirited, or people that um, didn't stay in their comfort zone, people that dreamed up new realities and made them possible. Like there's a sense of this being a little bit triggering for them, because I feel like in this person's shadow, um, they have suppressed this part of themselves that where it's okay to take the lead and do something different and explore and not worry about what people are going to think about you, and just be confident in your ideas despite what people will think about you. That's another thing with the Six of Wands here. I feel like this is also saying that you've helped this person maybe go through an ego death. Like I feel like they may have thought that it's like because of this person's pride or ego, they didn't want to make a fool of themselves or try out different things. And so they kind of got this more closed viewpoint and this more judgmental attitude towards people that were like that. And so I almost feel like this person, I feel like you helped them move past what are people going to think about me? What is this going to mean? Or like, basically trying to conform. I feel like you help this person understand that it's not necessarily a super negative trait, and you guys may be like this, or for whatever reason you had this impact on them. Like it's possible that you guys had different childhood experiences as well. Sorry, I'm just moving my speaker. I apologize if that was loud. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, it's like you help this person self-reflect and ask themselves what's the real reason for why their life is the way it is. And I feel like if they saw someone happier than them, they would just maybe put them down, or just think it's stupid, or like be like, I never want to be like that. But like deep down, a part of them maybe wishes that there was more fulfillment in their life, or wishes that they were more adventurous, or wants those experiences, but hasn't felt really comfortable in that energy. Can we clarify the Page of Swords? We have the King of Cups here. Yeah, and so I am seeing with the King of Cups being here, I think you've helped this person be a little bit more emotionally aware. It's almost like maybe this person has prioritized, I don't know, it's like they've prioritized following the norm or maintaining the status quo over what their heart was truly telling them. And so there was this missing perspective that was more dreamy and I don't know, like not worries, but more artistic, like more in flow, more connecting with the world on an emotional level rather than a level of like ego or anything like that. I feel like is something you've helped this person with. Yeah, literally look at this. And with the Five of Pentacles at the back of the deck, what you've helped this person understand, or what you're meant to help this person learn. I haven't read into whether or not they've learned it. This is just what their lesson is in regards to you, is understanding that sometimes going through loss and change with the Five of Wands there brings us literally, oh my gosh, look at this, is sometimes what's on the other side of temporary negativity or like negative change, or even if it's not negative, like chaos. Like the Five of Wands is the 5 number, is a step into change, a step into instability, chaos, if you will. But what this person is learning or meant to learn is that that could be what opens the door to this new cup. And then what's behind this, which I love, is the 10 of Cups, which is this person's ultimate happiness. And so I think you've helped this person not take certain things so seriously, or you're meant to help this person learn that sometimes it is worth it to risk more practical things. Sometimes it's okay to take a step backwards to go forwards. It's okay to reroute. It's okay to follow your heart. The perspective of being emotional is a valid one. And yeah, they just may have judged that path or thought it was stupid or thought, I don't know, thought that they may have been not being honest with themselves sometimes when they're not happy. And they may have stayed in situations they weren't happy in because of what the norms or what other people thought, because of their reputation. And it's almost like you've shown this person that it isn't worth bypassing your own growth and emotional happiness in order to maintain some sort of status or maintain some sort of status quo, some sort of reputation, and to avoid, sometimes things have to fall apart for them to fall better back together in a better way. And I think you're meant to open this person up to understanding that. And I'm hearing like the quote or like an oracle card that says, when being happy means you're on the right path. And I think this is something that this person has never really lived by. And I feel like this is what you're teaching them, that this path is valid, that this path is one that they maybe have judged inappropriately. I'm getting some tea. All right, let's get some oracle cards now. Look at this, time to go. Like sometimes it isn't worth going the distance. Or sometimes it is important to leave behind situations so you can, in fact, build something that's better and going to be more long lasting. What is pile number one's person meant to learn from them and their connection with them? I think I just saw the fates. So yeah, we have the fates. It was sticking out. So yeah, I think that this person, you're teaching this person that there is an order and there is a rhyme or reason to change. And there are just certain things that change and happen, not because it makes logical sense to our brain, but because it's like the higher path that we don't always have access to. And because with like the fated path, there are certain things that are just fated. And in this lifetime, we may not ever understand exactly why a certain thing had to go. But in order to follow our best and highest path, we kind of have to trust in our fate and trust that our fate may require us to walk down a wrong path, put our roots down there, and then uproot and move somewhere else. And sometimes it isn't logical, and sometimes it is hard to grasp, especially for people that are more logic based, and they don't want to make a decision unless they see clear facts and reason in front of them. Yeah, look at this. At the back of the deck, there's a change in the wind in reverse, like a fear of change, and also understanding that if you're not willing to make changes, you also will block the ability you have to work with spirit to manifest and to create your vision. If you always have to make a perfectly logical situation or a logical decision, it's going to be very difficult to make movement anytime quick, because that's not how spirit really works. There is a need to lean into chance and lean into intuition and just a feeling that I'm supposed to go here. And it might not be logical, but I just know that I'm going to be happy there. I just know that there's something out there for me. And I think this person held themselves back because their brain would go, okay, but why? Like, you don't know anything about that. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves, And so I think they talked themselves out of stuff. What else for pile number one? What did their person learn from meeting them? Or what are they learning? What are they meant to learn? It's not guaranteed that we will learn, but what are they meant to learn? We have exchanging gifts. And then we have peace in reverse. And then deep knowing at the bottom of the deck. I'm hearing you have to give some to get some. So I wonder if this person, I might clarify it, but I am getting that, yeah, what I'm getting is this person's extremely conservative with their energy. And it's like they block themselves off from exchange in the world. And what I'm kind of getting is the idea of like you need to spend money to get money, or like when people say something like that, like they say that, you know, the more you give, the more you get. And I think this person may be held back or wasn't too generous with their energy, or they may have played things very conservatively, but then because of that they may have also cut themselves off to opportunities. It's like a situation where yes, you might need to pay a certain amount of money to go on vacation, but like what you get in return for paying that money is worth it. And I think this person maybe has a hard time understanding in reciprocity and understanding that what energy they put out is the energy they get back. And so if this person, I'm getting the vision of someone that always assume that other people don't like them, right? Like, so if you just assume other people don't like you, then you would maybe not try to interact with them or give energy to them because you think they're going to reject you. They think that they don't like you. And so there's this sense that this person maybe started feeling like it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, essentially. So because this person didn't give a lot, then they didn't get a lot. And then they maybe started thinking that, well, why would I even put myself out there? Because it's pointless, like, or something like that. Or like, I don't want to give away my energy if like people aren't going to like me or something like that. And there was like a more pessimistic attitude. And so I think what this person is learning through getting to know you is literally you have to give some to get some. And that's the beauty of it. Like, that's the beauty of money. It's like we're not supposed to just kind of save up stability just to hoard it and hold on to it. We're meant to let it freely flow through us, because it can block the flow when we're not, I don't know, like not, it's not a two-way street, you know? It's like this person kind of, I feel like sometimes they maybe I don't know, like expect other people to come to them, or I'm even kind of in a more negative way, like for some of them, I'm kind of getting that they may even started to feel like a victim to the outside world, or started feeling like unwanted, or like things aren't fair for them. Um, yeah, I'm kind of getting that. And it's like, kind of like this person maybe would require people to give them so much for them to open up that um I don't know, it's like they might just push away a lot of opportunities because of that, because they're almost just acting uninterested with the Four of Cups here too. It's like they learned they're not very open, you know. There's just this energy of when people offer them or throw them I don't know, throw them something, like throw them a bone, try to get them in on something. I feel like this person will push it away. Um, yeah, because they don't trust it, or they don't believe that the energy will come back to them, or they don't believe that this person sometimes, I think, doesn't feel like they belong, or doesn't feel like um what's the word? They may feel disconnected, or like they don't have a place in this world, or they don't know their purpose. They don't know their place in this world. And I think a lot of it has to do with them kind of turning their back on the world, if anything, and deeming, and then kind of subconsciously making them feel better by like demeaning the rest of it, and just thinking that, I don't know, it's kind of like a little bit of a Grinch energy as well coming through. Um, because with peace in reverse, there's just a sense that they may think that they're more peaceful, or they're better off with less connections, and like not prioritizing emotional connection or connection with people, or energy flow. It's almost like they tell themselves that would just disturb their peace. But the truth is, they're not happy, you know. They don't have peace in themselves anyways. And it almost like brings them less peace when they are clinging on to like separation and an idea that they won't get along with people, or it's not safe, or anything like that. Like, people are going to think I'm so stupid or something, but I just like don't even want to risk it. And with the deep knowing here, yeah, look at this orphan. There's a sense of this person feeling very deeply like an outsider. And so I feel like you help this person by knowing you. You're meant to teach them to take a look in the mirror and really ask themselves, like, am I the reason why I'm not happy? And like, what viewpoints do I have that are leading to this? I think that's what you're meant to kind of show this person, that they may get in their own way and they may genuinely, they may hold themselves back. And with the deep knowing here, there's a sense of sometimes you just know and you just have to follow that. And I think that's something that this person has a hard time with. Even if logically you might lose something, it's still beneficial to follow your heart sometimes. All right, I'm gonna get a couple of these oracle cards. I have a really fat deck. I've mainly been using them in my extended readings, but this is just like all of the decks put together that I have from this Etsy shop. They're actually really good. They're all like the self-parenting oracle deck, trauma edition, love yourself oracle deck. There's a few different ones. So what is pile number one's person meant to learn through knowing them? Literally, look at this. I forgive myself for thinking I need to know exactly where it is I am going before taking a step forward. I choose to believe that the path before me will be illuminated the moment I garner the courage to trust myself to make the first move. Literally, the genius control seeker. Yes, 100%. Yeah, and then this is also on the back of the deck, which I feel as well. It says, I forgive myself for feeling as though there may exist a moment in the future where I may not have what I need, despite having all that I need in the present. When I choose to believe that when I focus my attention on finding appreciation for what I do have, I align with the flow of abundance that is already mine. And so this person like blocks the flow of energy by hoarding it and like being afraid of losing it, yeah. So I'm trying to think. I actually might get one more. Why not? We get one more, please, for what this person is learning. Okay, one fell on the ground. Oh my gosh, yes, 100%. Literally, this is like so much what I'm feeling. This one, another one fell on the ground. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is, or what it says is, it's now safe to acknowledge the disappointment that lies beneath my anger. Yeah, and so I feel like this person, you know how like Snape is all angry, like it's just like angry at James and Harry. He's so angry, but deep down underneath that is a lot of grief and sadness. And I feel like this person stays in that like agitated state, or that state of just like deciding to be a grump, like deciding to be that way, but not being vulnerable and not really asking themselves beyond the anger, like what's underneath that emotionally, and what does that tell me about myself? What does that tell me in general? So it says, I choose to remember that although anger may serve as a more empowering expression of the way I feel, I may be moved to the loving experience most meant for me when I release my attachment to the outcome I prefer. Yeah. Again, very rigid, and they just have a very, there's just a sense of being angry when people don't fall in line with what they want, or when they don't fit in, or when something, I don't know, like something doesn't align with them in some kind of a way. And it's a little bit immature here. And so it's like this person is meant to become more emotionally aware. And that's why the King of Cups is here. It's about understanding the point of listening to your emotions and taking responsibility for your own emotions and what they're telling you, so you can actually take action that's going to make you happier, instead of blaming everyone else and blaming the world, basically. So in the extended reading, we're going to be looking at what this person, what you were meant to learn through knowing this person. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll have it linked down below. But that is what I have for this reading. I do appreciate you for being here. If it did resonate, I do really appreciate if you can hit the like button, leave a comment, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next Pick a Card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Angel Aura crystal, and what is the name of this deck? I didn't even look before I started filming. Oh, it's the Cosmic Tarot. Then this can be your reading where we're looking at what the person on your mind was meant to learn through knowing you. What lesson are they contracted to learn? And so before we get in, this is what they're meant to learn. It's not necessarily saying this is what they will learn, because it is up to us to learn our lessons and to lean into what our experiences are teaching us. But this is what the point was. This is why you were in this person's life, or are in this person's life. And the song that started like playing in my head before I started filming was "Very Superstitious Writings on the Wall." I don't know what that means, but I can't even think of the rest of the lyrics, but we'll see if that means anything. What is pile number 2's person meant to learn through knowing them? Okay, one more shuffle. What was pile number 2's person meant to learn through knowing them? All right, we have the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. Okay, so the first thing I'm picking up is that you are meant to help this person learn that being in their independent energy and being confident on their own is a symptom, or can be a product of having strong discernment. It's almost like they go hand in hand. So I'm going to get a sip of water. My throat is dry. But what I'm seeing is, and we have the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. What you're meant to be teaching this person is about their discernment. And I feel like your person may be someone that maybe has a hard time prioritizing themselves, putting themselves first, making sure their own needs are met before other people's. And what they're meant to learn through you is about give and take. So with the Six of Pentacles being here, there's a sense that they can't always keep giving. Like if there's a situation that is imbalanced and it's calling for them to stand in their confidence and their independence and being self-sufficient, that is what they need to be able to do. So it's like they're learning this Ten of Swords energy. And in order to enact the Ten of Swords, or to properly understand a Ten of Swords situation, which talks about the end of the road for a relationship or a situation, it talks about how it can be a betrayal. It can be a situation where you've done everything you can, but you still lose. There's no winning. And so the only benefit is understanding that through going through that experience, you won't feel any more pain from that source. And they may have needed to learn about discernment. And I'm seeing with this woman, there's like another person, two people kissing in the back. And so, there could have been, we'll get more, we'll clarify, but there's a sense that they maybe had to call something out for what it is and move into this Nine of Pentacles energy. Understand that they have the strength to be able to move away, especially if someone betrays them. just saying this could be a reversed pile, meaning that this is what you were learning through a certain person in your life. But if you feel like there's someone that this makes sense for, that's possible too, which makes sense. Okay. For pile number 2, what is pile number 2's person learning? What were they contracted to learn through knowing you? We have the 9 of Wands. Yeah. I don't think this person that we're talking about, I don't think this is someone you had a very easy connection with. Yeah, the 8 of Swords at the back of the deck here. This person, I think, maybe had like enmeshment trauma in their childhood, or they may have been the type that had to like parent their own parent. They had to parent their parents. But this connection was meant to help give this person experience of challenge and experience of things not working out, so to grow their strength, essentially. And the lion is in the back here. So their strength of discernment, their strength of feeling sure about themselves and what they value, and that they don't compromise their values for anyone. That's what you've been teaching this person. What else is pile number 2's person learning through this connection? We have the Wheel of Fortune. I want to see if there's anything coming through immediately about that. I feel like you were meant to help this person be able to stand on their own 2 feet and ride the waves of life, like understanding that you can be there for yourself when things are good, and you can also be there for yourself when things are difficult. We also have the Devil here, and then the 7 of Cups. Yeah. So I really do feel like this was a relationship that was meant to help this person end patterns of codependency, end patterns of feeling obligated to stay in scenarios that do not align with their values, do not align with what serves them, because they feel like they need something. So like an example of that would be if this person didn't have the confidence to go out and pursue something that would bring them money and bring them stability. Like, let's say this person didn't have the confidence. It's not saying that's specifically what it was. It's more saying that instead of being, with the Wheel of Fortune here too, instead of being like, I'm hearing like a slave, that sounds kind of crazy, but like, instead of being completely tossed around by the elements of life and feeling completely at the mercy of external circumstances, you were meant to help this person understand that they do have the ability to plant their 2 feet and stay strong. And they do have the ability to become independent and become confident and become completely self-sufficient, even though the world is a chaotic place, even though there are a lot of ways things can go wrong. Like, yes, there are no guarantees. And so there's an energy here where if this person didn't feel confident in navigating the world independently and confident in their own self-agency and their own ability to meet challenges and make decisions that they trust, then there's an energy that this person would stay attached to someone else, maybe that would make decisions for them or bring them a certain sense of stability. It's like they would make a deal with the devil then. So it's like this person had to give up their own age in the past. It's like this is something that you're meant to help them work through. It's like this person didn't trust themselves before. So because of that, because they were afraid to stand in their strength and stand in their confidence, they would allow certain relationships in their life that were not for them. They maybe even allowed certain people to control them, and they maybe were betrayed by people and still stayed loyal to those people. They may have allowed themselves to be convinced that even though it's the end of the line, even though there's been betrayal and they're not happy, that they still need to stay. This is something that they maybe used to be in a pattern of. And so no matter how much a certain person wasn't like honoring them or wasn't really respecting them or standing up for them in any way, it's like they would be too afraid to leave. They'd be too afraid to follow through when something needed to end. And the Seven of Cups being here, yeah, it's like the moon. It's like this person you're helping them learn to see through illusion and to feel more sure about what decision they're going to make. Because I feel like with the Seven of Cups here, I don't know, there's a sense that this person maybe would sometimes have their head in the clouds, and they would pick scenarios where maybe there was a promise of something, but after there's a certain amount of evidence that something isn't for you or like for them, they maybe would still feel confused or still not be able to see through the illusion. And so, I don't know, I'd be surprised if the kind of person that's teaching this person a lesson is listening. But if you are, I guess that's good, maybe. Or you may be the person that had to learn this lesson through someone you know. But I do feel like whatever experiences you would have had with this person would have been ones that challenged them and required them to have firm boundaries and to be confident in themselves and to go their own way and to not be at mercy of the fluctuations and changes that life will always throw at us. It's kind of reminding me of how it's nice. It brings us stability and confidence to know that we have like backup savings in case something goes wrong, you know? And I feel like in the past, this person maybe didn't feel like they were really as in control of their own destiny before they knew you. And so there's a sense that you actually, through the experiences they had with you, it was a catalyst for them to stand up in their own power, claim their own agency, and realize they have much more of a say about how their life goes than they maybe realized in the past. Maybe they thought other people needed to decide that for them, or they may not have felt confident in doing that themselves, but it's like they're starting to see more clearly. They're starting to see through illusions. And they're also, with the Seven of Cups being here, you've helped them understand that they have more opportunities and options than they maybe originally thought. So they maybe thought that they had to stay in like certain scenarios that were not really benefiting them, just because there was an illusion that they had to, or that they didn't have any other options, or they would be left in a scarcity if they didn't, you know? And so the Nine of Wands for me is all about the wisdom that we gain through having the courage to journey forward, even when we've had missteps, even when we've had rocks thrown at us, even when we've picked the wrong path and it hurt and it sucked. What we get from it is this Queen of Swords energy, is this discernment and confidence in our ability to meet the challenges of life. And when we're more confident that we can meet the challenges of life, we don't think we need a safety net. We don't think we need to we don't think we need someone to do that for us, because usually that comes at a cost. The kind of person, and I guess I'd be speaking about you now, but I don't know. I'm just saying that this person would attract people that maybe were more able to control them, or were able to, I don't know, just treat them in a way that wasn't fair to them. And they didn't have the confidence to know that they were capable of more. But this person is meant to learn that they're not at the mercy of other people's actions, and they can change things up on other people too. It's like understanding that they have the capacity to do this, and they have the capacity to meet their own needs. It's that they don't need anyone. It's that having people in their life should be because it adds to their life, not because they need them, not because they are not comfortable, or not that they are like forced to, you know. So let's get some oracle cards. What is pile number 2? Pile number 2's person learning through knowing them. We have chaos and conflict in reverse. We have why in reverse. We have serendipity in reverse as well. And happy here, yeah. Okay, and then go the distance. It's like they're learning that they can co-create. They have the power to co-create, and they're stronger than they think. Like they can get through time periods where they aren't given very much. But let me see. I feel like this person with chaos and conflict in reverse, I'm feeling that this person maybe when challenges occurred or destabilizing situations, it could be that in the past they would do everything they could just to hold on to whatever the conflict was. And so I feel like there's this feeling that this person maybe avoided situations where they had to like advocate for themselves, or they almost, I'm getting this energy of them playing nice on purpose or trying to make things easy for everyone else and trying to I'm getting that message, but I'm also getting the message that, oh, you know what I'm really getting here? They may have done that, but I'm also seeing that it's almost like this person in the past maybe thought that they had to stay like in scenarios where there was a lot of chaos and conflict. I almost feel like this person maybe had this habit of maybe not recognizing that they can just remove themselves, and they maybe didn't know they can do that because on some level they felt too insecure to take that leap, you know. But I think this person ended up staying in relationships or staying in situations that genuinely did not make them happy when they could have moved away from it. They could have cut it out of their life. Because with this Y card here in reverse, it may be that this person in the past didn't really know what they wanted either. It could be that they were afraid of really being clear cut, you know. But it's almost like, and also this person maybe avoided conflict, or through conflict they didn't really take the opportunities to ask themselves, am I happy in this situation? Like, what am I getting out of this? Should I move away? Like, I almost feel like this person, I'm getting the song Why by Dominic Fike, which says, do you ever wonder why would you pay for this apartment you don't belong in? You take this bleep from all your bosses and all your boyfriends. I guess I get surprised when you let it slide, but it's no business of mine. Like, yeah, there's a sense of, it's like if anybody else that maybe had a little bit more security or confidence in their ability to make it, a lot of other people would not have endured what this person has endured. But I feel like there's something about the connection with you that was so undeniably like a situation that they needed to move away from, in all honesty. It's like they had to let go of the fact that, and they may have, even with the Wheel of Fortune here, they may have put a lot of their faith in the universe to push them in the right direction. They had this very passive energy, and this energy where they didn't really know what they wanted, and so they weren't as powerful in creating what they wanted, because it's almost like they were putting this energy into the universe, like they didn't see themselves as such an active creator. And so it's like you were teaching them to understand that they're not just meant to like be pushed around like a fish. They're not just meant to be in that fish energy where you just follow the tides and like you never really like have direction or figure out where you're meant to go. And so I think at some point this person started like just getting along to go along, and then that may have led them in dangerous situations, or led them to situations where people didn't have their best interests in mind, but they weren't really wanting to have control of their own life. And so, yeah, maybe they were able to stay out of a certain level of conflict, but they weren't really tuned into who they are and what they stand for, what they will stand for, what they won't stand for. They almost wanted the universe to tell them who they are. And so I'm getting that this quote, or Jess Puckett talks about this on her channel, like the switch from when we ask the universe to tell us who we are, from the switch of we actually get to tell the universe who we are. And I feel like you were meant to help this person switch into the second mentality, that it's our unique values and experiences and our uniqueness that are what we truly should do in life. And that is, it's important to adhere to that. But without a strong sense of self and a strong sense of honoring yourself and protecting yourself, it's like this person didn't really know what direction to go in. They maybe didn't know they maybe thought they were doing one thing, but they didn't really want that or something like that. But with serendipity here in reverse, that's giving me that message about like the Wheel of Fortune. They maybe just thought everything was up to chance, or that the universe would give them the right person, but they almost didn't understand that that isn't how things work. Like it's important that we take part in the co-creation of what makes us happy. And even though sometimes we might think things make us happy, there comes a moment when it's time to accept that it wasn't it. You know what I mean? That wasn't the right thing. And I'm feeling called to read Serendipity for number 18. It says, perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. It was supposed to be the perfect business, or the person you gave your heart to was supposed to be the one. Yet it all fell apart. Consider this. Sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties in order to deliver an important lesson you need to learn before you hit the jackpot. Yeah. That's like the Nine of Wands energy to me. It says, don't get caught up in the drama of disappointment. There really is a silver lining in this cloud. Spirit always knows what you need and is guiding you to where you're meant to go. Pay attention to the signs presented to you. Yeah. So yeah, I really think that this person maybe was a little bit taking too much of a backseat in regards to their life. And I think you were meant to be this moment where this person had a pattern of relationships like this. Relationships where, because they thought this person was meant to be something else, it's almost like they don't recognize that they don't really want it anymore. Like they don't ask themselves, like, why am I doing this? It's almost like they think that they're just supposed to, or they think all signs were leading to that. And because they don't question it, it's like, I feel like this connection was one that was meant to highlight this pattern, highlight the fact that they need to take more of a take the wheel, and understand that with serendipity in reverse, that there are lessons that we have to have discernment, because yes, spirit is trying to attract to us what it is that we want and what's going to make us happy. But sometimes spirit can only work with us in that way. It's that we still have to have discernment, right? Like, and this is kind of something I was talking about in another reading I was doing, how sometimes we think that, we think that we're going to reach a certain level in life where the universe starts giving us people that are only going to make us happy. But the truth is, throughout the rest of life, like, yes, you may draw in specific people because of your vibration, but it doesn't mean you aren't going to interact with other kinds of vibrations. And so it's essential that we are aware, that we have the knowledge, or that we have a good sense and a good way of understanding whether or not something is for us or isn't. Because I feel like this person has gaslit themselves into thinking that they should stay, or that this was meant to be for them. So even though they're miserable, they'll stay. But instead, there needs to be a personalized, tried and true, unique to us set of values that tells us, what we allow in and what we don't allow in. And so I think this person was really meant to learn to not just look to the universe to pick that for them. It's that they have to have an active role. And there's also an energy that they don't want to cause any issues or something, like, is what I'm kind of getting. So maybe they don't want to question things, they don't want to cause like a commotion, but then they end up being really unhappy. And so I feel like they were meant to learn that they are in the driver's seat here, not not another person, not the universe. At the end of the day, we all are responsible for ourselves, and that is what gives us our power. Okay, I'm going to go into some more oracles. For the extended reading, we'll be looking at what you are meant to learn from this person. So some of you I feel will have been listening to this and thinking that this is what you were learning from someone else. So the extended would then be what the person that you feel taught you these lessons, what you were meant to teach them. So flip flop it if you feel like doing that. Or there might be another pile also that goes more over what your person was meant to learn. Like I would maybe try multiple piles, especially if you pick this one. All right, so for pile number 2, what was pile number 2's person learning? It says, I forgive myself for thinking I need to be right and making others wrong in the process. I choose to believe that what is right for me may not be what is right for another, as we all differ in the essential exploration and expression of self. 100%, literally 8,000,000%. This is like that Queen of Swords. Exactly what I was just getting at is that we have our own unique values and boundaries. And it's almost like this person was afraid that if theirs was different from someone else, that they're making other people wrong. You know, it's allowing for the fact that there can be different views. And because with this chaos and conflict, like it talks about how it's a reality that people have different viewpoints, and what's right for one person is wrong for another person, and vice versa. And so it's really important that we're connected with ourselves and understanding our unique, what's best for us. It might be different from someone else, and especially if someone else thinks they know what's right for you, that is impossible because we are the only people that know what's right for us. And so this person maybe also thought that maybe by letting someone else decide for them or following other people's path, whatever it is, that would be their way to success. But they had to learn it was going to be through their own independent, unique self that only they have the opportunity to get to know. So you're helping them learn this. It says, I forgive myself for distrusting others to be able to take care of themselves. It says, I choose to believe that when I delegate tasks and make space for growth, I empower others to experience parts of themselves not previously known to them. Yeah, so there could be also, on the flip side, this person maybe would feel guilty if other people needed them. So like, let's say there was a scenario where there's 2 people involved, and this person is my left hand. I don't know why that matters, but let's say it's a situation. Basically what I'm trying to get at is situations need to be mutually beneficial for them to make sense. I think that this person would maybe gaslight themselves or would feel guilty if staying in a connection or like withdrawing their support or their energy from something, they maybe felt like they were hurting the other person, or that they were responsible to meet that other person's needs in some way, even though it directly went against what this person wanted or what made them happy. And so this person had to learn that letting things be over, regardless of whether or not this person still thinks they need you, like it doesn't matter. Like it's important to just, yeah. What I'm also getting here is this person, a part of them not maybe having practiced a lot within their own self-agency and their ability to take care of, because this person maybe doubts their ability to take care of themselves, like they maybe stay with other people because they think other people also have that. And so I could see, even if this wasn't a situation where I'm seeing that when this person saw other people in need, they felt obligated to share, to support and help them. Because of their lack of confidence in their own ability to navigate their own challenges and fend for themselves, they also assume that other people don't have that. And so they would feel guilty, like they're abandoning people if they were to pick themselves. Yeah. So there's just like an enmeshment, you know what I mean? This person used to have like enmeshment with people. All right, one more, Spirit. Okay. So this says, I forgive myself for resisting my need to sit in stillness to process both my past and my present. I choose to believe that when I acknowledge my fear of not being able to adequately provide, I enable myself to access and receive support as necessary. Okay, so yeah, I do think that this person also had a tendency to um, be in pain or be suffering, but they didn't really think that I'm trying to put this into clear words. It's like, for resisting my need to sit in stillness to process both my past and present. It's like they didn't make time for themselves. It's like they felt like they had to. It's almost like this person. There's a strong energy here of trying to meet other people's needs before I've met my own, or um, yeah, it's essentially that. And so I think that this person would keep going deep into situations that had red flags or were not healthy for them, and it's like they would think that that's how things are supposed to be, or it's like they thought they just needed to tough it out. And so it's almost like this person is learning how, when the devil's energy is involved in things, like there's no continuing to push or like lying to yourself about whether or not it's making you happy. Like I just feel like there's this energy where this person used to just keep going, and not check in with themselves and not be honest with themselves and say, this isn't right for me. You know what I mean? Like I need to start taking control of my life. Like I'm realizing I have to stop thinking about other people with the hero here. And I need to think about myself. And it's almost what's interesting about this person. It's like, as soon as they realize that all of the energy they're putting into meeting other people's needs would be enough to make sure they're secure. And so as soon as this person was meant to learn to pour that energy back into themselves, and to better understand when it's time to admit that this is the wrong road, for their own health and safety. Like, yeah. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys, pile number 2. I'm taking it into the extended now. We'll be looking at what you are meant to learn through knowing this person. I do really appreciate if you guys are able to hit the like button. It really supports my channel. Leave a comment. I love to see what you guys have to say. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the green fluorite crystal in the Trippin Waite tarot deck, this is going to be your reading, where we're going to be looking at what the person on your mind was meant to learn through knowing you, through a relationship with you, or whatever interaction you guys had. This can be a past person or someone in your present. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to discern whether or not it is aligning. For the extended reading, we'll be going into what you were meant to learn through knowing this person that we talk about. So if you feel like it really resonates, you may want to check it out. Spirit, please have me in. For pile number 3, what was the person meant to learn? I'm thinking of. All right, we have the 8 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so something that is immediately coming through, I feel like you are helping this person understand that when we get into like a funk energy, or let's say we're struggling, or things just aren't going right in our life and we're kind of feeling like meh about life, I feel like you've helped this person understand that they don't they can shift out of that, essentially. And that with the Wheel of Fortune here, we're constantly in cycles, and sometimes we can get caught up in a negative cycle where because we assume things are going to be negative, we are then not open to new opportunities. We're not open to things that could really help to shift us out of a more negative energy or more difficult time period. Yeah, so I feel like this person is the kind of person who maybe struggled with getting into funks, or yeah, this person may have even struggled with depression. So this is kind of reminding me a little bit of pile number one, but I'm getting more of an energy here where I feel like this person can be their own worst enemy. Or they may end up feeling like the world is against them. So there's a sense here that they can get into this energy where they start to feel like the universe is against them, or they have a hard time flowing with life almost, or they start to believe, they start to get the negative mindsets, and then that kind of colors their world. So you've helped them in regards to this, but we'll get more clarity. What is pile number three? We have the Fool. Yeah. And I feel like you've helped this person understand that by being open to a new chapter and taking risks and not being so complacent or distrustful, that doing something different can change their energy. So I definitely think you've brought a positive energy towards this person. Yeah, you're teaching them a positive lesson for sure. I definitely felt like pile number one and two could have been more karmic based relationships. But I feel like for this one, it's like, I feel like you have a motivating energy to this person. This person, you make this person feel, oh, I'm hearing a song, but it's coming through very like quietly. I'm hearing we all want to rule the world. We all want to rule. I don't even know the tune of it. We all want to rule the world. It's like you get this person out of their head and more aware of the fact that they're more in control of getting themselves out of a negative mentality or a negative worldview than they realize. But it's like, I'm hearing you gotta have faith. You have a very upbeat effect on this person. It's like you kind of give them hope, or give them, yeah, you feel like a breath of fresh air. Oh my gosh, the song that's coming through, this is so funny. Taylor Swift, Shake It Off is also coming through. The haters gonna, like, shake it off, shake it off. Yeah, so I think this person maybe has been, I don't know, they may have just had negative experiences with people, or they may just take things very personally, or they can just, yeah, it's like the weight of the world can kind of start crushing them, and it can really affect their energy and just like how they see themselves and how they see the world, especially too. What else is pile number three? What are they meant to learn through knowing pile number three? We have the High Priestess. Then we also have the Knight of Wands, yeah. And then the Six of Wands. I feel like you've helped this person a lot with their confidence. Yeah, I feel like with the Knight of Wands here, this is definitely the vibe I'm getting. It's like you've helped this person understand that it's okay that there's time periods when we feel like we're not motivated, or we feel like the world's against us. But I feel like with the Knight of Wands here, the Knight of Wands is a person that takes action on their inspiration and doesn't think too much about the consequences. And it's like they roll with the punches of life, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is an adventurer and an explorer, and someone that is aware that, you know, this might go wrong, there might be challenges, but it doesn't stop them from continuing to put themselves out there and explore. And so, yeah, and what's kind of interesting, this is reminding me of pile number one, but it's a little bit different, because in pile number one, there was more of a sense that pile number one almost also stayed in a very rigid thought pattern. And then they kind of painted the world as like, they kind of projected a sense of rejection out at the world and started thinking like other people were maybe kind of like bullied other people, but like in their own head. It's like they kind of judged everyone else and were in this like grumpy energy. This person is more like someone that I feel like that gets down on themselves, and gets like just stuck in a certain pattern or way of being where they're not happy and they aren't able to see the opportunities around them. And so you've really like blessed this person, because you've really helped them see that they can change their fortune. They can, with the Wheel of Fortune here and the Eight of Wands. This is all about a shift in things moving very quickly, and maybe even multiple opportunities coming your way. And it's like you've helped this person like carpe diem, like seize the day, and have more confidence doing that. Yeah, Queen of Wands underneath, definitely. And I feel like you bring a very lighthearted nature to this person. I feel like you give this person more confidence. Um, yeah, I think this person has a lot of appreciation for you as well. I'm not sure about the High Priestess though. Why is the High Priestess here? The Two of Pentacles in reverse. It's almost like you've helped this person understand that they can trust themselves. Because with the High Priestess here, that's all about listening to your own inner guidance and your own intuition. And so I think this person had a case of, or tends to get into a mentality where they don't trust themselves. And I feel like they're really critical and hard on themselves. And it's like they don't trust themselves to make the right decisions, or they hold themselves back because they see themselves as, I don't know, they just think people won't appreciate them, or they severely limit, they underestimate themselves. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting caught up in saying that, but um and this person maybe has felt foolish or has been made to feel silly or something like that. Maybe for getting excited, like I don't know, there's just this sense that this person, I feel like, shut out a part of themselves that was open to getting excited about new things and open to, like, honestly, more play. I feel like you bring in a lot of play to this person's life, and you also bring in this like open-hearted energy, because with the Two of Pentacles here, it's like I feel like this person can get into this mindset where they maybe put too much emphasis on like practicality, or they don't have enough fun or something like that. I'm really getting that. And so with the High Priestess here, I feel like you've helped this person listen to their intuition, about how they feel about something, and be more open to their intuition, be more open, like don't just block off all the opportunities with the Four of Cups here. Instead, you can tune into your intuition and ask yourself, um, how do you feel about this? You know, if it makes you feel good, like you don't need to hold yourself back because of self-limiting beliefs or a fear of things going wrong. Um, yeah, because with the Two of Pentacles here, it's almost like this person is afraid of losing control or losing control or losing balance. And so this person is a little bit similar to pile number one, but it's like they try to maintain a sense of control in their life or predictability, but then they zap the fun out of their own life too by being that way. And so you help them take action, be more spontaneous and fun, and more open to putting themselves out there. With the Six of Wands here, it's like more confident in the eyes of others and understanding that they may be limiting themselves. Okay, let me see if I want to clarify. Is there anything else in regards to the Knight of Wands? Yeah, Three of Cups, like putting themselves out there to have more fun. The Three of Cups is all about this energy of celebration and lightheartedness and playful friendship. And so it's like you help this person be more open to like accepting invitations. Like I feel like this person is someone who maybe would isolate themselves or not really be open to new kinds of people, that they may actually really have a lot of fun with. And so it's like you've helped this person get out of their shell, especially. Why is the Eight of Wands here? We have the Three of Swords. Yeah. So I feel like this person, when they've experienced like heartbreak, this is the kind of person who, after maybe taking some kind of risk, or maybe there was a time period where they were more open-hearted, but I feel like they really closed down after maybe experiencing some kind of heartbreak or some kind of letdown. And so it's almost like they stopped trusting their heart, and it's like they stopped letting them, they had a hard time shifting out of some kind of heartbreak. That's what I was getting. Because like with the Eight of Wands, it's like what I was saying earlier, is it's like you help this person like open up again. So I don't know if this is someone who, if this is romantic, I could definitely see it being a situation where, I don't know, it's like you kind of brighten this person's life, and it's like maybe they were very like unknowingly unhappy almost, and it's almost like they trusted you, or they trusted you, honestly. And it's almost like because of you got them out of some kind of a rut, is how I feel. Yeah, so let's get some oracle cards. That came out very concisely and clear. I'm going to see if anything else comes through. This person may have started to become very logical, or they may have like talked themselves out of doing things just because of it's almost like their mind is protecting their heart. It's like they don't want any more heartbreak to come to them, and so they maybe stopped listening to their intuition, or just didn't like trust people almost. Because like with the high priestess, it's like they maybe didn't trust. They stopped trusting other people as well. They stopped trusting the opportunities coming their way, because it's like they didn't want to take the risk of opening up and having their heart broken. What is pile number 3 meant to teach this person? Yeah, we have between worlds here. So I definitely think you may have known this person in a time period where they were in a transitional state. It's like you helped this person transition, or any blockages they were having from transitioning from like this gray, dull world where I'm seeing this person in the 4 of Cups into this world of color and potential, but it came out in reverse. And so it's like you're helping this person understand that even if there have been failed disappointments, and even if the path we thought we were going to go on, it ended in some kind of a way, it's like you help this person trust that even if it feels uncomfortable or awkward in that transitional phase, what's on the other side has the potential to be really fun and beautiful. And I see like these little confetti puffs on this side. And yeah, it's almost like this person, I think, oftentimes gets caught up always thinking about the past. Like they stay stuck in the past, and it's like they have a lot of regrets in the past. And so it has prevented them from just seizing the day and trusting that things happen for a reason, and trusting that just because one path ended or one phase of your life is over, it doesn't mean you won't know a new you. It means that this is kind of sad, and like, as this is coming through, so this isn't going to be for everyone, but it's kind of reminding me of that feeling people can get sometimes, like, and like, I guess this could be like a trigger warning, but when it comes to like feeling kind of suicidal, it's like, it's kind of that like tunnel vision where you start just like stop seeing like the purpose of going forward. It's almost like you can't see past what's happened, and you can't imagine a better future. You can't imagine your luck changing. You can't imagine more people coming into your life that will understand you. It's almost like you help this person get into a mindset like that. And for some of you, it may have even been like that this person was really struggling with their mental health. But for others, maybe it doesn't have to be that intense. But I think this person got stuck in patterns of thinking they'd never be happy, and genuinely believing that. Yeah. And this kind of cut off their intuition. It's like they tuned out from their own intuition because they stopped like trusting in the universe and trusting in themselves. We have TikTok here in reverse. Yeah. So they may have even thought that what you help this person realize is, I'm hearing like, I'm like 50 years young, you know? It's like, I feel like you have that perspective, and it's like you help this person understand that they aren't out of time. Like, they haven't failed. There isn't like a sense of impending doom. It's like this person maybe deals with that, or deals with this sense that they've already hit their peak, or that they've somehow missed an opportunity or missed their chance for happiness or something. It's like almost like they feel like it's too late, you know, with that TikTok there, which is again kind of giving me that same energy. But yeah, it's like you help this person realize that there's so many more possibilities than they realize, and that it definitely isn't too late, and there is so much more time, and so much more of a reason to stay open-hearted and continue to explore and understand that your luck can change, and your circumstances change. Yeah, you have a really beautiful energy I think you brought to this person. What else did pile number 3? What is pile number 3 meant to teach this person? We have chaos and conflict here in reverse. I think this person started getting into an energy where it's like an energy of almost when you're so burnt out, and like, or let's say that you've been through a really stressful event, sometimes we can stop like expressing ourselves authentically, and kind of grow this sense of apathy, because it's almost like when we lose that fire element, it's almost like you brought this person's fire back to them. It's like this person was losing their fire, and you were meant to kind of help them realize that change is a good thing. And yes, sometimes like there can be conflict and there can be challenges, but it's a part of becoming new. And it's like almost like you help this person understand that there's always a new layer ready to be revealed. If you can see, there's a zebra underneath the giraffe. And so it's like this sense that sometimes when we're so when our confidence isn't really high and we feel like our mental health is struggling, it's almost like hard to even argue with someone. It's almost like you don't have the energy to even like say your point truly. And so it's almost like this person started isolating themselves, almost in this energy of like, I can't deal. Like I just don't care to deal. It's not worth it. It's not worth the fight almost, you know? And so I definitely get this sense of this person losing their authentic energy, like almost their energy where it's almost there's this indifference that they adopted that maybe made their life more like peaceful or like less intense in a way, but then it's also really stagnant and they grew this apathy. And so it's almost like you help them get out of this energy of not having an opinion or not being in touch with what they actually feel or like what they actually want, and like actually fighting for that and championing that and understanding that, because it's almost like this person went into a mindset where they really started suppressing any of their opinions and their authentic expression just because they didn't even want to like deal with that. You know, they didn't even want to deal with interacting with other people and it being an argument or something. It's like they didn't care enough, you know, about their points. So because of that, it's like the more and more they were in that energy, the more they stopped even tuning in with themselves, you know? All right. And it's almost like this autopilot as well. It's almost just like getting through. And I think this person had been living for a long time in this energy of just trying to survive. And it's you help this person move from a model of life that is surviving to thriving. And like you reminded this person that life isn't always going to be a period where we feel like we just have to survive. Like, yes, that happens. And that's the wheel of fortune. It goes down and it goes up, but understanding that it's not that we're never going to be in that time period again where we're thriving. And it's like you reminded this person of that. We have serendipity here in reverse as well. Oh, I think I have a sneeze. But with the serendipity in reverse, I think this person had either one or like a few experiences. It might just be one though. It might just be this one heartbreak where this person genuinely was very convinced that a certain risk they took or a certain opportunity, they thought they listened to their intuition in regards to I'm just getting the image of this person in a previous, maybe when they were younger, there was a certain instance where they had more of an open heart and they trusted in their intuition and they wholeheartedly went towards something, and it ended up not being what they thought it was supposed to be. And they found this extremely discouraging. And so they stopped wanting to even trust in themselves and trust in the universe when they give you opportunities. But what this serendipity card talks about in reverse is that sometimes spirit does lead us into certain situations that are going to be a detour. You know, it's like a divine detour. Sometimes we have to go down a certain road to learn something down that road. So then we have what we need to go down the road that would have been made us the happiest. But it's almost like this person paused at that part where they were in that disappointment and they just had such a hard time continuing to keep moving and understand that because something goes wrong, even when we had our hopes up and we really thought it was going to be something that was like long lasting or something that fulfilled us in some kind of a way, it's like you help this person understand that it doesn't mean to stop fighting. And I'm feeling called to read the serendipity in reverse. Yeah, it says it's about like finding silver linings. It says, perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. It was supposed to be the perfect business, or that person you gave your heart to was supposed to be the one, yet it fell all apart. Consider this. Sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties, and that's that chaos and conflict. Understanding that it's not always a bad thing when there's chaos and conflict. It doesn't mean it's like stop going on your path. It means you just need to get through this to get to your more authentic self. But it says, sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties in order to deliver you an important lesson you need to learn before you hit the jackpot. Yeah. Don't get caught up in the drama of disappointment. Yeah. There really is a silver lining in this cloud. Spirit always knows what you need and is guiding you to where you are meant to go. Pay attention to the signs presented to you. Again, this person stopped listening to the signs that were being presented to them because they were caught up in the disappointment. It's like they felt like they ran out of time. And it's like this person thought that this gray space, which was like maybe what they had their hopes up on, it's like they can't see that what's ahead of them is this colorful energy. And in this gray space, that's what they thought they wanted, but they can't, like, let's say they're colorblind in the situation. It's like they can't see that where they're going is actually going to make them really happy, because sometimes we can get so caught up in our hopes about something and the pain we experience through that. And so I think what you help this person understand is that you don't need to, it's like this person went into safety mode, and it's like they were terrified of listening to their intuition about new opportunities. I feel like I've repeated that a bunch, but yeah, that is what I'm getting for you guys. So I'm trying to think if I even I'm filming the next day after I filmed the first two piles, but this is what I have for you guys. So I hope this was interesting. We're going to take into the extended now and see what you were meant to learn through knowing this person. If you are interested and curious, I'll have it linked down below. If you did find this useful or interesting at all, it really supports me if you guys can hit the like button, leave a comment. I love to see what you guys have to say if you guys have time, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon.